boy, my favorite moment of the day, climbing into these bucket seats, which are impossible to climb into. Oh man. Okay, let's fire her up. You ready? The best part of the day. Oh boy. All right guys, here we are back in the 600LT. Listen to this, listen to this. Hold on. Oh, into the tunnel. Yeah, boy. Look, I'm on my way to my boy Roth's house. And today I've got a very special comparison plan between this guy, the 600LT, and Roth's car. What does Roth have? Well, because Roth is one of my friends, I coerced him. I convinced him, better said, they get a 570 GT. So I want to tell you a little story. A couple months ago, you know, Roth is in the market for a sports car. He wanted something exotic, something comfortable that him and his wife could enjoy on a day-to-day basis, drive it to the gym, drive it to dinner, not worry about scraping the $40,000 bumper in the front, and at the same time, you know, being able to speed and go 120, 130, 140 miles an hour. So I start recommending, obviously, the 570S. So Roth and Nana, they go look at the 570S, they look at the Mercedes-AMG GTS, they look at a bunch of different cars, and eventually they find a 570 GT available at the collection, right where I got this 600LT. Hold on real quick. Oh my goodness, what a car. Anyways, the 570 GT made sense for them because it's the exact car as this, the same platform, same monocoque chassis, same engine even, but it's been tuned down to be more comfortable, to be more daily drivable, to be more family oriented, because it's got that beautiful latch on the back that opens up where you can throw a set of golf clubs and a little piece of luggage to go on a trip. Things you can't do here. There is no room back there. Nothing fits, and as a matter of fact, McLaren puts a little sign right there that says don't put anything back here. Why, I don't know, it'll probably catch on fire. But Roth and Nana, they end up buying the 570 GT. They've had it for a few months, and over the last couple weeks I've been really thinking, what can I compare my 600LT against that's actually a competitor, that would actually give it a run for its money? Perhaps the car that does everything the LT does but a little bit more. The car that's a little bit softer when you want it to be. The car that doesn't want to chop your head off like this. Again, it all comes down to, I guess, what type of car person you are. And I think the 570 GT just does right about everything. Anyways, I'm going to pull right into the neighborhood, pull up to Roth's house, and show you the 570 GT. Look at that. What's up, Rafa? Well, here I am with Rafa, the owner of the 570 GT. What's up, Rafa?
What's up, bro?
Right now I'm going to go through the specification of both of these cars. I'm going to compare comfort versus speed, track focused versus womanly comfort. Let's start here on the 570 GT. So right away, you're going to see how the back design is completely different on the GT versus the 600LT. So if we look at the GT, we don't have that top exhaust. On the GT, the motor's beneath this leather coated trunk area, and then it pipes the exhaust all the way through the bottom and out back here. Whereas on the LT, the exhaust comes right off the motor, which you can see right there, through the headers and up these little pipes that are about a foot long out the top. They put the ceramic coating on the carbon fiber spoiler in order to avoid it burning, because it shoots huge flames in the middle of the night. But if we go back over here to the GT, the purpose of the GT is a little bit different. The exhaust, even though it sounds amazing, right, it's not necessarily the purpose. The purpose is to be able to put a couple gym bags back here, a couple luggages, and go on a vacation with your family. If we circle around the side, you're going to see how the wheel design is completely different. There's a 5-spoke lightweight wheel on the 570GT, whereas on the LT, we have the 10-spoke lightweight wheel, right? These wheel and tire combination are 38 pounds lighter than this. Okay, again, sticking with the light and track focus theme, and here sticking with the comfort. You could even see these are P0s and those are Trofeo Rs, right? So these are P0 Trofeo Rs, so these are track tires, whereas these are actual street tires. So I guarantee that this car outperforms that in the rain. So now, if we go around the side, we're gonna see how the sills, right? These side rockers are completely different. So this is flat all the way down, so nice and sleek. Whereas on the LT, if we travel over to the other side, we're gonna see that the LT has these extended for aerodynamic purposes, right? And they're also full carbon fiber. And these play into the weight savings on the outside of the vehicle. Remember, this vehicle overall is 320 pounds lighter than this vehicle. So now let's circle around to the front of the car so we can start seeing the differences. Actually, before I get there, check out these door inserts. The GT was the only one to do the door inserts like this in the body color of the car. The 570S had the palladium silver or the palladium gray, and then mine, because I didn't opt for the carbon fiber packet, you can see I've got the palladium as well. And then at the end, I've got carbon fiber here, and here they've got the palladium. Okay, so circling around to the front fenders, which is interesting. So you can see that this front fender is smooth. These are composite, like a body composite that McLaren uses. These are not carbon fiber. Whereas those right there, the whole front fender is carbon fiber. Why? Because I wanted to do these louvers, right? And the purpose of those louvers is to take the turbulence from inside the wheel well, push it up here, and push the car down to create more downforce. Okay, so now in the front of the car, here is where the car looks most similar, right? You can see that the lights are identical, the hood is identical, right? Lights, hood, but the front splitter is completely different. You can see here it's got this big intake, this little separator, and then this beautiful center part. But if we go over to the LT, you'll see how the LT has these side canards, I don't know what you call them, and then the front splitter has a different design, right? You can see how it goes in right there, and then it goes all the way around and it repeats on the other side. When I crashed this car, this splitter was $35,000. That is why this is such a much more convenient car. If you hit a little parking thing in the front of you or a curb, that's not going to set you back 35 grand because it's not carbon fiber, whereas this will, which is why you have to use the lift in this car all the time, and in this car you don't. Also, you can see that the car, the 570GT, is slightly higher off the ground, right? So you can see the distance from the floor to the bottom of the front splitter here, and then you can see the distance from the floor to the bottom of the front splitter here. So let's talk about the performance real quick, the differences between these two cars. This car does 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. This car does it in 3.3. 0 to 124 in 8.2 seconds, and 0 to 124 in 9.3. Pretty negligible differences if you ask me, but those are the differences in performance, about 10% difference across the board. And again, this runs about a 10.4 quarter mile, and that's gonna run 10.7 to 10.8. So if you really wanna go fast for the price, this is gonna be your best bet. But again, if you wanna do something in comfort that's almost just as fast, you wanna stick with the 570GT. All right, so now let's check out the interior of the 570GT. So right away, you can see how the GT has this beautiful leather, right? Leather that extends up to the back hatch. It's just delicious how nicely appointed it is. You can tell that they spent time putting this interior together. Look at how the leather extends up the dash right here. My 600LT doesn't have this. And then inside, it is so airy. Look at this cabin, because up here we have a glass roof that lets the sun in. And then within the car, you've got creature comforts that you don't have within the 600LT. For example, the car down here has an electric mechanism to move the steering wheel up and down. And on the side of the seats here, we've got the buttons, memory seats, and then these actually have heated seats as well, and they're electric. So none of which of those things are in my car. And you can see the buttons over on this side right here, okay? And then the biggest difference here in the center console, you have your active panel, launch, active, and then auto start off. But right here, you have the release for the trunk. And I mean, the release for the trunk here, the back trunk here, and the front trunk here. Whereas my car doesn't have a release for the back trunk because it doesn't have one. It just has a latch. And then if we go to the floorboards, look, this is all carpet. There's carpet and sound deadening in this car to keep it quiet so that your wife could take it down to the grocery store and not get annoyed by an extremely loud exhaust. So now let's do the interior of the 600LT. Right away, you can see how bare it is. Right here, bare carbon fiber, an MSO option with the 600LT badging right here at the bottom. The P1 racing bucket seats, fully carbon backed. Again, 48 pounds lighter than the seats in the 570GT. Down here on the floor, you'll see how the floorboards are carbon fiber with just a little rug to keep them from getting dirty, right? Pedals are even a little bit different. When we climb in the cockpit, right away in the center, you'll see how they've done away with all the buttons, right? This also has to open the front trunk, but no rear trunk. As you can see that all of the design here has become just a straight piece of carbon fiber. So right there, look at that. It's just a piece of carbon fiber. Up here, you can see that the leather is not extended. It's not as nice to save weight, right? And also when we start it up, you'll see how this car vibrates up here and how that one has no vibration because it's made with a little better quality with comfort in mind, whereas this is made to go fast, right? And then most importantly in the back, you'll see that there's nothing. This is just a little shelf to hold something, even though McLaren tells you right there in a sticker not to hold anything. And last but not least, you'll see that my car has a track telemetry package to measure how fast you can go around a racetrack on a lap, and that's connected here to the infotainment in the front. But the infotainment itself, the paddles, all of those things are identical in both automobiles, but you can see where the weight has been saved in the LT versus the 570GT. All right, now that we've reviewed the inside of the cars, I'm gonna have Rafa, aka @FitLatino,
professional driver,
who is accustomed to driving that. I'm gonna have him drive my car. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a little switch. I'm gonna drive his car and give you my impressions on the differences between this and that. Anyways, let's go.
I'm good.
All right. Look at that. You can hear the turbos full. Rough, give me a little rev. That sounds amazing. Let's get in this thing.
Oh, let's go.
Oh my goodness. You see, light to light. 8.2 seconds to 124 miles an hour, which we just experienced right now.
Oh, yeah.
Going down that little road.
Jesus Christ. This car feels more attached to the floor than actually the 570GT. Like I feel more attached. Like he grips into the floor, like the tires grips into the floor way more than the other one.
Yeah, you see how it grips? Just...
The brakes are sharper than mine.
Yeah, because this car's got the 720S brakes, right? Same brakes as the 720S, and your car has the same brakes as the 570S.
And the difference is?
The difference is 9 pounds in weight, and in stopping power, this one stops from 60 to 0 in 102 feet. Yours is 108 feet from 60 to 0. So there's a substantial difference on the brakes.
Once you drive mine, you'll notice the difference. You'll see. This is definitely more race type of car. It's
Hit it. There you go. There you go.
Oh, mine doesn't do it.
No, those are the whips and cracks in every LT. When you shift, it cuts the ignition in between the shift, and which means it cuts the gas, and then it fires the gas in really quick, and it causes that pop.
But this is that sound that is.
Oh. Rafa, give me the full impression, man.
I would just say that if you want to trade cars, I'll trade.
Only for one day, though.
For one day, because I'm gonna be uncomfortable because of the amount of muscle that I have and the size of the seat. But it feels great, faster, more power. This is just a beast, and mine is like the beauty.
Yeah, and how would you say, like, what would you say the GT is better at than this?
Comfortable. It's more comfortable.
Much more comfortable.
It's more as a daily car. It's because of the comfort. I think it's just the comfort and the speed, the power of the car. I mean,
yeah.
You're gonna drive that one, and you're gonna see how fast it is. But nothing like the sound and the power of the car, the way it moves.
Yeah, the way it makes you feel.
The way it makes you feel.
Look, now it's my turn to drive in the 570 GT. I'm gonna climb into the cockpit here. You can see how much easier it is to get into.
I just realized that.
Look at that. Nothing.
That's
so easy, man.
I just realized that when I got in now. Yeah. It was just like a regular car.
Mine, you had to get in, climb over the carbon fiber sill. Here, I'll go ahead and step on the brake. So let's give it a little. Wow. Rafa, it's a completely different car. This is like you're riding in a Rolls Royce or something. Yeah, the suspension's more floaty.
In other words, this is a beach car. If you want to drive fast, it can go fast. But Mikey's car doesn't have a comfort speed.
There is no comfort.
There is no comfort. There is no such a thing as comfort. Like I said, this is more like a daily car.
Yeah, but here we go, down the same road we just went. I'm not gonna step on it yet. Alright, see. So right there, I just downshifted to 7,000 RPM and the sound's completely different. So there's the power. The power comes in at around 7,000 like mine, but it's not as savage. You don't get the savage acceleration that feels that you're gonna die, right? That feels like you're falling off a building. Here it's more gradual, and then the shift doesn't kick you every single time you pull the paddle, which is really interesting. I figured that the shift in sport would be the same. Look at that, and it doesn't lose the control in the back, right? The back, so in my car, when you step on the accelerator with those Trofeo R's, it starts sliding around and you start feeling the back one. In this car, you don't feel the back want to play. In this car, it's just hooked. Yeah, man, this is like a beautiful automobile. Also, on the power, you can definitely feel the weight.
Totally.
You can definitely feel that this is heavier.
Yeah.
Because it's not as agile and it's not as fast.
No.
Like the surge of the turbos doesn't feel the same in this.
Totally.
And who would have thought, like look, it just doesn't, I mean, it's powerful.
It is powerful.
It's extremely powerful. You can tell that they share some characteristics, but it feels like it's missing about 100 horsepower, I would say, relative to 600. I mean, what do you think, about 100? Probably about 100. 100, 120. And I think that
yeah,
that reflects in the numbers though, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
because you're talking about a second and a quarter mile difference.
I'm used to driving the 570 GT, which is the white one, the one I was driving before, which is this one, and there is no comparison between the two cars in terms of speed and how the car moves.
I mean, this thing pulls, Rafa.
It moves.
It moves. You know what you could use in this thing? A tune and an exhaust, and maybe some downpipes would do it a lot of good. And you know what's crazy? The brakes don't instill the same confidence. The brakes don't instill the same confidence that they do in the LT. You have to stab the brake probably 40% harder than you do in the LT to get this thing to slow down. But I think my verdict on this car is pretty straightforward. This is an amazing car for somebody looking for the LT experience, let's say 80% of the LT experience, but 100% the comfort. Somebody who wants to take it every day, drive it to the gym, drive it to work, and then drive it home and not feel like they're sweating, not feel like they're stressed out, not feel like the car's gonna kill them. This car does none of those things. This is like my wife. I've been with her for 12 years of my life. I love her with all my heart. She's perfect in every single way. And the 600LT is like somebody who works at the Booby Trap, which is a strip club down the street here from our house.
In Miami, by the way.
She is crazy bitch. She's very good in the sack, but she's terrible as a partner. That's the analogy. And if for those of you that want that experience,
what analogy?
and for those of you that want that experience, that want to feel like you're riding around with a hard on the whole time, you buy the LT. If you want to have the perfect blend of comfort and speed, you buy this.
Once in a while, you go to booby trap.
Yeah, and then you go to booby trap once in a while and you get the same sensation. Anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Hope that you like this review, the comparison between the two McLarens. Look, give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you like this content. I'm going to try to pop out content like this every single week, and I hope that you have a great day. Take care.
See you guys.